Hi, my name's Ashley Scott, and I'm the Trade Unionist and Socialist Coalition candidate for Abington and Phippsville.
I grew up in Kingsthorpe, which meant I spent much of my childhood in and around the surrounding areas, including town and Abington. I've seen a lot of changes. I think it's fair to say that the COVID-19 pandemic has put a strain on that local environment and that local economy in a way that, for most of us, has never been seen in our lifetime.
So, sites like this is becoming more and more common on Wellingborough Road. And to be honest with you, it will only become more frequent as businesses start to really feel the full effects of the pandemic as the rebuild starts. The problem, of course, is when a business shuts, it isn't just that business that's losing out. It's the employees who are then unemployed. It's the loss of the amenity from the local area. The more of sites like this that we have, the more problems an area has, and the more problems that Abington and Phippsville ward's going to have moving forward.
For many residents, that economic uncertainty is nothing new. Back in 2018, Northampton's council was forced to declare itself effectively bankrupt after a series of financial mistakes, instances of mismanagement, and, on occasion, deliberate misuse of public money. You would think this had given open goal to Labour's opposition councillors. Instead, for Northampton's Labour Party, much of their energy has been spent fighting within their own party to try and remove Jeremy Corbyn from his position as leader. Attacking the left of their own party has cost Labour elections before.
And Neil Kinnock thought that he would win votes by expelling hard left-wingers who were prepared to go to prison over the poll tax at a point when he was 26 points ahead in the opinion polls, and 2 years later, having spent 2 years attacking the left, he lost the 1992 election, so the strategy didn't work.
In 2016, 6 Labour councillors, including Zoe Smith, who is the Labour Party's candidate in the Abington and Phippsville ward, signed the call for Jeremy Corbyn to resign his position as leader of the Labour Party. That was, whatever your views of Corbyn, complete snub to the democratic mandate he had been given by the membership.
So Labour want to make this election about litter and about HMOs, both of which are admirable causes. The problem is, as we've seen, the litter in the area is terrible. So photo opportunities 2 weeks ago of litter picking doesn't solve that issue. As for HMOs, of course they're an issue, but not because they exist. They exist to fill a hole in the housing market, because plainly there's not enough social housing. The problem with HMOs is that if I can charge £400 for a room as a landlord, that's what I'm going to do. That means that a house then becomes an £800 property. It spirals, and that's the problem with Northampton and particularly Abington and Phippsville's housing market.
From speaking with local residents, I don't think it's any surprise that people are by and large losing faith in politicians. The narrative of them all being the same, it only exists because the differences between Labour and Tory councillors are, when it comes down to it, quite difficult to find. The Trade Unionist and Socialist Coalition candidates are not politicians. We are ordinary working class people. Trade unionists, activists, socialists who understand that austerity is a choice, and it is the wrong one for the people of Northampton. Northampton Council's poor choices stem from their pro-big business platform. For too long, a quid pro quo, you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours approach has been applied to public money. Rather than making investments that matter, we are left looking instead at gimmicks like delivery robots and the Voir scooters. Whilst I was in Abington Park talking to local residents, I met up with a fellow activist to talk about the money problems the Northampton Council has been facing.
In terms of Northampton's council's record over the last few years, particularly on spending, I mean, what are your general thoughts on spending?
I think one of the most memorable ones for me, as someone that grew up in Northamptonshire, was the Gold Street refurbishment. What did it actually do?
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't see any differences. Yeah, I think it was in the millions, possibly, for that. And that millions of pounds could have gone into the benefit of the community. Like, for example, we don't have an art centre in Northampton, and a community art centre there are very few places in this town where you can go without the obligation of spending money.
The solution is not bringing in unelected commissioners or consultants. Splitting the council is not an effective solution to the money problems we face. TUSC candidates stand on a platform of rejecting all cuts to jobs and services. The aim is to rejuvenate Northampton through job creation, bringing services back in-house, and creating social housing through a Northampton housing programme.
So this May the 6th, give one of your votes to TUSC in Abington and Phippsville.